Hey everybody, 2 for a day, second video. Thank you all for coming. Thank you Sean Donnelly and TND Tesla and K8 for being here, keeping us all safe from scammers out there. This one you've been asking for a week or two. Last time I did a detailed deep dive on Solana was, I think, the very beginning of November. And it's important to check in. Is it losing dominance? Is there a new Sol killer in town? Or is ETH coming back? We're going to dig into all that right now and make sure everything's working here. I hope it is. Shout at me in the comments if not. This will be a big one. Let me check. We're going to do about 50 nuggets. We're going to go fast, and the most comprehensive dive into Solana and all blockchain you'll ever see anywhere on the internet. That's just a fact of life. So we'll try to get to the point of where we are. Is it... Sorry, my screen's all messed up. Is it still dominant? And where does it rank? Is there any upside anymore to this particular chain? I have no idea why my screen keeps messing around. But let's get into it. And disclaimer as well, this is not financial advice. We have a lot of people in this community who've been in since $8, $10, $20. We'll find out where we're going to go next based on just data. And shout out to everybody in Patreon as well. Yeah, and I think Lawrence said this. Patreon has paid for itself for over 10 years just in the first week. So thank you, Lawrence, as well for coming. First of all, let's get into the crypto market cap. This is from MilkRoad. They project end of year 2025 market cap to be $10 trillion. But they were kind enough to break it down into the component parts. Bitcoin will make up 40%. Hey, Piper, 40% of that crypto market cap dominance. The L1s, $3.5 trillion. That's why I play these puppies. DeFi, 700 billion. I think DeFi can maybe even go a bit larger, and I'll tell you why in a minute as well. But these are big numbers. Now, when you forecast forward and you do the math, which I'll do tomorrow on my Bitcoin video, what 4 trillion translates to price, that's just about a 2.5x from here. But for the L1s that don't have this dominance right now, going to 3.5 trillion, that is huge. What do they look like now? So I reached into our little SCP profiler dashboard and I pulled this up. This is quite incredible. Solana just broke 30.07% of the ETH market cap. When I first found Solana, it was less than a fraction of 1% of the ETH market cap. Now it's 30.07%. Number 2 in the box is Cardano, 7.85%, which is probably the dumbest thing you'll ever see. It doesn't deserve to be there based on fundamental analysis. But if you look at sentiment and pumpers, probably yes. But that's enough. My job is to help people, and I don't care if people get butthurt because this is the truth. We'll get into a whole bunch more data in a minute. Let's look at some charts first. I normally push the charts to the end, but I'm bringing them up front because they're quite profound. First of all, Solana is nearly back at all-time highs. Who remembers November 2021? And who remembers November 2022? Exactly a year later. This is the ATR model that shows you kind of your layers. I turned off the layers so it wouldn't look too busy. When to buy, when to sell, when tops, when bottoms. But that red shadow you see there is the bear market, crypto bear market. It shows up for all assets. It's also an equity bear market too. But that was a rough year. But some of us, like me, never lost faith because I've been through many storms before. And when the fundamentals get better and better, you don't lose faith. You actually get more convicted. Not as a criminal, no, into the asset. Hope you're long day, but up since 4. Deluxe Bear, thank you so much for coming. The Australians love their crypto, like the Canadians and the Dutch and the Kiwis. So this is another chart too. Solana Bitcoin since the beginning of 2023. I like to go back 23 months for giggles because I like patterns and numbers. And here we are. Solana Bitcoin. It's hanging tough. So it is, Solana's still beating Bitcoin by 316%. However, it's been choppy since about April 2024. Sideways. We had a big spurt and big ranges. And there are times you kind of want to be in the trade in the blue. You want to be out of it in the orange. And that's just, again, the ATR model, how it works. Very simple. Gives you a feel for what's winning and what's not. So if you want to play this in a more sophisticated way, now that I'm on the topic, what you do here is you flip between assets. So when you're blue, you hang in Sol. When it flips to orange, you move to Bitcoin. And then you go back to Solana when it's blue, back to Bitcoin when it's orange, etc. When you do this as a very simple pair trade, which is, as I say from the beginning, everything is a pair, you make a lot more money. Check Patreon for the details on that one. Now let's check out SOLETH. This is a bit of a different story, ladies and gentlemen. SOLETH is up 825% since January 2023. And I know it doesn't look that impressive, 825%, but remember, Ethereum went from 900 to over 3,000. So Ethereum went up a lot, and Solana went up a lotter. One of those days, long day. Let's get into the numbers, the data, and everything else. Solana, as we saw on the chart, it is smoking ETH on volume. Solana has done 700% more volume than Ethereum in the past 24 hours. In my previous video today, the number one traded stock today was MicroStrategy. You see a pattern here? MicroStrategy, Solana, volume. Yeah. When an asset has no volume, it means it's dead. Volume is a good thing, just like volatility is a good thing too. Lots of learnings today. Let's go to our Sol upside model. That'll be up here afterwards. There are thousands of people that use this model. It's free. Just pull it down from the link above. And this has been my Bible since 2021 because back to the history of the genesis of this little crude model. My idea was, okay, I have a vision that I believe Solana is the ETH killer. Therefore, it should be valued as ETH. If it was, where could the price go? The best things in life are the simple things. And here we are. And I share this every time I do a Sol video and enjoy the model. Cardano used to be on there. It still is, actually, at 100% of ETH market cap. But it put that in the dust years ago, so we don't have to worry about that. And you can turn off any of these colors you want. And by the way, let me know in the comments below if you want me to update this model because we're running out of layers. Next layer I add will be 100% of ETH. What the price would be if Solana market cap equates to ETH, which it will. I have never been more sure of anything in my life. That's why this model's here. But anyway, back to the layers. We are at 30% now. We're heading to 33%. If we do, the price of Solana at that level is about $261. If I'm not mistaken, I can't read these little numbers. Hope you can. But the next level after that is that teal color. That price is about 388. I remember that because 8s are a good luck number. And then 70% of ETH, the price of Sol, would be $554. And again, let me know if you want me to update it for 100% of ETH, because that's where we are going. That's the destination, and I'll prove it in the next few charts. This one especially. This is from the SCP Profiler again. It's our face-off module where we can compare any two assets together. By the way, no offense to the Bitcoin folks out there, but when you compare Solana to Bitcoin, it's way worse than this. But Solana, Bitcoin's a store of value. It's not a L1 blockchain. So just bear that in mind too. But I do believe Solana will be the faster horse for the next year or so. Now, ETH versus Sol, it is wicked. Nakamoto coefficient is 2 for ETH. So Sol is more decentralized. Take that, ETH maxis. Block time, 3,000% better. Finality time, 15,000% better. TPS, 1.6 million% better. Daily transactions, 4,200% better. Daily active users, 2,000% more. Daily transactions over daily active users, 112% more. Fees, average fees, 5.2 million% cheaper. And daily fees are now 71% higher than ETH. There was a time, not too long ago, when for the first time ever, Solana beat ETH. Now it is smoking it, leaving it in the dust. And what you don't understand, the ecosystem of dApps and Solana are also generating even more money than Solana. Riddle me that. I'll get to that in a second too. This is Solana on the ATR model. You can see where we are, the layers. We are heading up to layer 6, which is the all-time high. We're right bang in the middle between 5 and 6, and we got a buy signal very recently, and we went perping. We went perping so bad, we blew up the liquidity on Jupiter. Basically wiped it out. True story. Happened about 2 hours ago. Anywho, the price of Solana at the time was 220. I'm so tired. I don't want to make sure I get the name. 232 was the entry. Now it's 237.5. All right, so that's the chart. More charts though. One more. This is the Solana Dominance. I never talk about dominance unless it's about Solana. because it's important. Solana is now 3.7%. By the way, I left the ATR model on. This is where we've come from. And if we go back in time, you can see where it's come from too. But now we're at, oh, that's not the dominance chart. Ooh, I will tweet it later. No, that's the wrong chart. But the numbers are right. 3.7%, 3.8% is the all-time high. We are right up at the top, about to be dominant. Now, imagine if Sol dominance goes to 10%. And imagine, for a second, a little homework for the kids at home. Imagine 10 trillion market cap. And imagine L1's at 3.5 trillion. Guess what the value of Solana will be in the ticker price? It's completely bonkers. It's north of $1,000, but I'll share that too later if you want, or you can calculate it yourself. So you got all the ingredients here. Now, more stuff. TVL. Solana TVL is growing really, really fast. You've got players like Marinade, Finance growing hugely. 200% a month, Jito 300% of the month, Solent 64% of the month, Lido 47%. All the action is moving to the Solana blockchain. Tons and tons and tons of TVL growth, billions and billions and billions of dollars happening fast, real fast. And from Nansen, they came out with a report, first ever, Solana surpasses Ethereum to become the #1 most used chain on Nansen AI for the first time. Solana is, the way they put it, it kind of sounds a little bit disappointing. Yeah, we know it's the most widely used chain, and we know half of all transactions done on 30,000 blockchains are all done on Solana. We know that. But there's more. It gets better. New monthly active users from the team of Artemis breaks 153 million users. And it's going parabolic, ladies and gentlemen. We were under 15 million users in March. Now it's 10x in 6 months, basically. 10x in 6 months. See the pattern here? There's a black hole Sol. And by the way, I once said that if we get to a DApp that has 100 million daily active users, that means there'll be 1 billion daily active users on crypto, and that's the end game. And that could now happen at this rate. If it continues, that'll happen in 2025. Then we easily get a $10 trillion crypto market cap. See how it all relates together? I hope so. I've been explaining it for years, so hope you get it. Now, Solana also hits the highest economic value ever. This is weekly real economic value, and the highest ever in its history. It's vote fees, it's tips, priority fees, base fees. It's bonkers, absolutely bonkers. And the validators are making bank because the chain is being used. Every transaction is like $0.0002, and they still make money because there's millions and millions of transactions every day. They make it up in volume, unlike .com bust in 1999. Anyhow, institutional money is also flying into Solana last week. $24 million came in, and in fact, ETH had a bit of money flow in, and Bitcoin had a lot of money come in too. But when you look at the size of the asset, that's a pretty big flow. And there's more and more ETFs, ETPs, ETNs for Solana coming out every single day all over the world. Brazil, Sweden, Germany, Switzerland, etc., etc. US will get one next year too. Pretty certain of that as well. Actually, that's guaranteed. Not even certain. And Solana does 46% of all Crypto Dex volume. Da-da! From DeFi Llama. And you can see, compared to the others, Ethereum 17%, Binance 8%, Base 8%. Base is a private blockchain. Everybody don't go out and buy a Base token because it doesn't exist. Arbitrum 7%, Avalanche 1.8%, Polygon 1.3%, Sui 1%, Thorchain 1%. That's it. That's it. Winner takes most, ladies and gentlemen. Has anybody figured out what the winner is yet? Answers on a postcard. I think you know. And memes are still the top narrative, still up 90% for the month. And that's okay, because all the memes happen in one place anyway. But the memes were there to stress test the chain to make sure it can scale and work, everybody. By the way, let's get the message out. I'd never ask for likes or thumbs or whatever, but if you could, people need to know this so they can sell their dead bags, including ETH, by the way. No offense to ETH. Now, so ETH is back on the menu. Solana keeps draining ETH. Over $280 million has been bridged from other chains to Solana in the last 7 days from Solana floor. And this includes as well 280 million drained from other chains to Sol. And this is ETH to Sol, 160 million from ETH to Sol, and only 84 million back. So double the drainage out of one chain and back to the other. It's insane. It's only going to get worse. It's been happening all year. That's why the TVL on Solana is exploding and shrinking on the other places. Now, a little bit of crazy domination. This was not on my bingo card for 2024, where the fees of a Solana chain dApp called Radium would nearly equate that of Tether. Tether has $13.37 million in fees every 24 hours. Radium now is 12 million. Solana, 8 million. Jito, 8 million. ETH, 4. Circle, 4. By the way, we'll get to Circle in a minute. Crazy that one DEX on Solana does nearly as much fees as Tether. Crazy. And speaking of Circle, this is Circle here. The dominance is now 72.41% of all USDC action is happening on Solana. And the market cap of Solana USDC is 4.5 billion. And that's gone up 15% in just 7 days. Again, when regulation comes in, I think Circle has a very good chance, USDC, of being a very dominant US stablecoin as well. That's all happening in 2025. And this was yesterday. This is today. Remember, I said it's bonkers. I was not on my bingo card. Well, here it is. Radium smokes Tether. 15.14 million in fees in a day versus Tether, 13.37. See how it changed? It went from 12 to 15, 24 hours. The chain is growing so fast. Let's go back to this chart again because it shows you how fast it's growing. This token, though, has not moved yet, but it will. It will. That's also a certainty coming up, too. Let's get into some more news, if you haven't had enough already. MakerDAO, another stablecoin. This is the OG of stablecoins, is now on Solana as Sky. And again, this is the third biggest stablecoin. They're going to call it USDS. I guess it's USD Sky for S for Sky. And it was previously called DAI. And it's also about 5 billion of USDS and DAI, which is the same as Circle. So it's very big. Both combined 10 billion stablecoins and running on Solana, but that will be growing very fast. I reckon in 3 months it'll be 20 billion. And then after that, 40 billion. And then after that, it'll start eating Tether's lunch. Maybe, perhaps, we shall see. Speaking of other stablecoins and TVL, Solana just flipped TVL of Tron. Tron is a chain that is heavy stablecoin. It's basically all it does. Stablecoins, everybody. And metrics are flipping every chain. And market cap is flipping every company. What do you mean by every company? Well, for those of you who are old enough to remember Sony is a huge Japanese company, one of the top 10 corporations, maybe top 5 in Japan, after the car companies, and Solana has flipped the market cap of Sony Corporation. That's how big it is, everybody. Very big. Let's look at some more charts. Let's look at where we are. Crypto market of the last 30 days. Solana's up 50%. Bitcoin up 31%. Not bad. Things are moving, but it needs to move a lot more. Okay, that's why I'm very certain we're going to break the all-time high and then go a lot more after that. I will be upping my price targets because of the Sol upside model. It'd be great if ETH could pump a little bit too, because that'll raise all boats, but looks like it hasn't happened for years and it may not happen. And Solana surges above $100 billion market cap, outpacing Bitcoin and Ethereum gains. Yep, we know that. I shared that at the very beginning in my first 2 charts. And speaking of chains, by the way, shout out to 2 Chainz. I met 2 Chainz at the We Robot event. That was the Tesla event in Los Angeles. 2 Chainz was there. He has the most incredible hair you'll ever seen. But I thought it'd be funny to insert 2 Chainz in the middle of 5 chains. And here are the 5 chains that have huge amount of TVL, over $2 billion each. Jito, Camino, Radium, Jupiter, and Marinade. Jupiter has all of that TVL. We blew through it today. Madness. Anyhow, Ray as well, Radium. Oh, by the way, Ray I own, in full disclosure. Ray just murdered Uniswap. It is doing 2.75x, nearly 3 times the volume of Uniswap. And Uniswap was the heavyweight gorilla of all DEXs in the past cycle back when ETH was a thing. Now there's a new dog in town. And yeah, woof woof, you know what it is. And SOLAlts are back. I will be doing a SOLAlt update. It takes so much time to analyze 20 different tokens. There's about 12 in the SOLAlt portfolio. Some of them are listed here just to show you that they have come back with a vengeance. Note, I own Radium, I own Nosana, I own Orca in the SOLAlt portfolio. But Drift is up 214%, Radium 176% just in the last 30 days. Parcel 98%, Solend 81.5%, Nosana 81%, Mango 72%, Zeo 66%, Orca 58%, Camino 56%, and Tensor 65%. Things are coming back fast. And the mothership has yet to pop. Think about that. Then these SOLAlts will be on fire. And that was always the plan. Get in early, get in hard, buy a little bag, sit and wait. Very low allocation. If it goes to zero, you don't care because some of them will be very successful. And just Radium alone with Nosana have already made me more than a 2x. If you assume all the other investments I made in SOLAlts go to zero, I'm already up. So the experiment has worked. But there's more. Let's get into some more data. This one here, the total market cap of Solana liquid staking tokens is exploding. Again, $7.4 billion, a new all-time high. Again, driven by Jito, Marinade, Jupiter. All big. Jupiter, I think, makes up about 13%. Jito is about 43%. And again, just like the users, just like the adoption, just like the fees, this is also growing very fast. And Solana is also getting the attention of Woo Blockchain. Like Glassnodes and Woo Blockchain that normally only just focus on Bitcoin. Now they're getting interest in Solana. And they talk about how meme transactions are hot. Fees are exploding, going to the roof. MEV, driven by Jito, settled nearly 16 million and revenue reached 622K, new record. And Pump.Fun is doing a whole bunch of stuff too. Check with Mando for the updates on that one. I'm not up on the memes, but it's good to see how they are really helping adoption of crypto, because that's what we care about, is adoption. And if your gateway drug is a meme coin, I don't care. Go for it. And Solana staking rewards hit an all-time high of 10.3%. Staking rewards. It's all driven now by fees and MEV, and it's crazy. So all things are really happening. Remember, the more adopted the chain gets, the more use, the more fees, the more TVL, the more staking rewards. That's it. And Phantom makes a lot of this possible. Shout out to the Phantom team. They are now the number 2 app on the App Store after Google Browser. Can you believe it? This is crazy. This is a crypto wallet, and it's the second most popular application in the Apple App Store, if I got that right. Again, Google is the browser's top spot. Phantom is number 2. And the wallet surpassed everything else. Everything else. So completely crazy. Like you're up there with like the Netflixes of the world and all that stuff. And Ubers. Phantom, crypto wallet, number 2. That's how incredible this moment is in time. And shout out again to the Phantom team, because they are so good and they built such a good wallet. And be careful, everybody, as well. If you have a Phantom wallet and something appears in it that you didn't put there, don't engage with it. Don't click on it, because it'll drain you. Just hide it. Don't even delete it. You go to your settings and just hide. Never see it again. You're going to be fine. So be careful. And have many wallets too. Spread it all around. But Phantom is the leading crypto non-custodial wallet, and it's used heavily for DeFi, NFTs, etc. Now, they bought a company called Blowfish. It's a Web3 security platform just yesterday. And the acquisition is focusing on enhancing wallet security for Phantom users and combat fraud in the crypto space. Blowfish is known for its advanced fraud protection capabilities, and they've prevented over 3 million scams and scanned more than 1.5 billion transactions and secured 18 billion in assets. So this is huge. Again, think of the wallet being your future little bank, literally like your wallet. And having a most secure one with this type of acquisition is huge news. So I couldn't be more pleased. And Solana transfer volume is at an all-time high from Glassnode. Glassnode are reporting on Solana. November 16th, Solana transfer volume hit an all-time high of $318 billion. Number of active addresses spiked to over 22 million active addresses. This is, again, crazy. It shows you all of the key trends of growth and everything else that are happening on Solana. Now, there's more. If you didn't need more, well, a couple more data points. First of all, Solana surpasses ETH and all its L2s combined. No surprise there. Dominance 44% of volume 7 billion. And it's just the beginning. And it goes without saying, NFT markets also are being crushed. 66,000 users. Half of all NFT players are on Solana. Half. Again, it'll be higher because the winner takes most. And final story of the day, there's yet another SOL strategies. There are firms now. They are not doing the Bitcoin strategy like MicroStrategy, but they're just going straight to Solana. They're going to buy Solana because they know how undervalued it is. They know if they can borrow money or use their cash, drop it into Solana, sit back and wait. It's going to go from $200, $300 to $600, and maybe $1,000 in time. So they're doing the right thing. This is a Canadian company called Sol Global Investments. The ticker is SOLCF, I think. And they are raising $3.6 million to buy Solana. But be careful on this one because it's a tiny market cap. It's like 6 million last time I checked. And they're raising 3.6 million to buy Solana. So they'll be the majority Solana in their balance sheet real soon. And that's going to be crazy. Expect a lot more of this too. If you want a summary of all these slides, all this data, 50 nuggets, 10 cents a day is all it costs. And you can listen to it again because I go pretty fast. And thank you to the team who puts these Substacks together every single day. So you'll never be able to catch everything I say live. You'd always get distracted. But this is a very good way to scan everything in case you missed anything. Thank you all for coming. Hope you enjoyed the show. 11,000 people watching a Solana video. You guys must have wanted this. But let me know below if you want these on a regular basis. I do Bitcoin dailies. There's so much stuff happening on Solana. I could nearly do Solana dailies if I wanted to. That was today's story. Thank you all for coming, everybody. Thank you, Nagesh, and everybody out there. Solana is still absolutely dominating. And I will say this. It is extremely undervalued for what it does. Absolutely extremely undervalued when benchmarked against all other cryptos. We're talking Bitcoin, Ethereum, SUI, all that other stuff. It's still cheap. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you again to the mods of the chat. Bye-bye.